this was just dropped. Shannon Sharpe's legal team responds to $50 million lawsuit, says it is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. Okay, as I said, this is just the icebreaker, so you definitely can comment or you don't have to. Does anybody want to start the conversation off?
Cash grab.
I'll just start. Oh, go ahead.
Like multiple times. How you do that multiple times? That was the first thing. So
I want to know.
Wait,
I want to
hold on,
know how
Danielle.
long.
Hold on. I think you might be on a delay, but go ahead, Danielle.
No, I was just curious. I don't know. When you say multiple times, like multiple times consensual, it's a little iffy. So I don't really have a comment on that. I'm not gonna automatically believe he did that.
Okay.
So I'm kind
I
of
don't know. I don't know. It's just I didn't think nothing like Shannon Sharpe. I don't know. That's my first time seeing it.
Did they mention how long ago this happened? Or it's just saying that it's just happened.
I don't know.
I believe.
So he's known her since 2023, I believe. I think let me add a few more details. She's she's more than 30 years younger than him. I believe that Shannon Sharpe is like 50. I believe that Shannon Sharpe is like 50, between 53 and 56. I'm not sure exactly. Okay. So she's in her early 20s. And I think she said that she thought that she was in an exclusive relationship with him until that leaked Instagram thing that Shannon Sharpe had did or something like that. So, and then the lawyer is the same lawyer that tried to sue Jay-Z for that fake lady.
Well, that's kind of lost all credibility then.
Yeah, for sure. I wish they had repercussions for both, like for the woman to make a false claim, because a lot of women do that. And I believe what it sounds like, what it's framing out to be, is what happened was obviously she thought they were exclusive. And obviously there was money involved. So maybe once she found out there was another woman involved, because women can be really like evil and vindictive. So to, get back at him for having another woman, he forced this on me or whatever the case may be, just to try and get some money, because a lot of them will say, it was settled out of court just to make it go away, immediately.
Well,
that's
you've
what
got
I think.
the Amber Heard thing. So what I've seen in the media is Amber Heard. We've got Blake Lively. We've got a lot of girls in the university system. I think, Anton, you've even, I don't know if you covered this or not, but women who have come back and recanted recently about incidences. There's just too many stories where people recant. I don't think we, at this point, can still say, believe all women, because there have been too many people who've had their lives destroyed.
Yeah, for sure. And then they had those boys. What was it? They had that. It was. I think it was. Yeah, two black guys. This is the first time I've ever seen a woman actually get prosecuted for making false claims. It was a white woman. She was a white girl. I think they were like early 20s. They were all in college. The two boys played something. Y'all might have heard about it. They try not to make these big cases like where everybody hears, but I followed it. And so she got prosecuted because they found out what she said was she willingly had sex with these two boys in a bathroom at like a party. She said that she was forced because I guess her boyfriend found out about it. So she immediately says, oh no, I was great, And so it was a lie. And then her text messages proved it, because the boys ended up getting arrested. And so when they found out it was a lie, because I believe they were on scholarships and they lost those scholarships, they got kicked out of school, everything. And so they actually, once they found out that she was lying, they pressed charges against her, to put her in jail.
But here's the thing. Have you guys ever seen someone who's been falsely accused and had to go through the entire court system, and they were really popping before this event happened, and they were falsely accused, they were cleared through the courts? Have you ever seen them fully recover? Like, I have not. Is there been anybody who's been able to bounce back? That's why I think we really need to start examining these people who are accusing, because whether you're a big star or you're just a college kid, a lot of those kids lost their scholarships. They lost their places on teams in the college. Like, they lost privileges that they had that they can't get back. Yes, they're free, but they lost. How did they
lost their name? Yeah, their name is already just tarnished. It's been tarnished, you know? Like, I'm literally in law school right now just because my issue has to be with is really with the family court laws, how they haven't changed them, how they screw over men, and how they do. I'm literally in law school so I can help, because I've had a really, really close friend of mine get screwed completely over, like completely screwed over. And so, you know, I take that to heart. And then I've seen, it's just too many cases, and men get screwed over. Like, it's messed up. And believe all women, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Especially, go ahead.
When it comes to situations like these, then, right, women that this actually happens to them, is it going to come to a case where they actually have to prove it? Like, they're going to have to need physical evidence, like a video or them being recorded or text messages. Like, is that the time that we're in, that we can't believe the women, even if they went through it, to where now the women that have actually went through this, they're going to actually have to need physical or some type of.
I don't believe any woman by default.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, they need to. So this is the thing. I think the problem is a lot of women wait. I'm not gonna say because they do wait. They do, but what's gonna have to happen if you want to probably prosecute? I know it's a whole mental challenge through that, but you're gonna have to go to the hospital and get a great. Like, that's the only physical way they're gonna be able to prove it, unless I say they start prosecuting these women. And I bet if they thought they was going to jail or gonna have a repercussion,
they wouldn't do that.
Let me ask a question, because I don't know, and this is a genuine question. How does a rape kit prove that a person actually did or didn't consent, right? Because, like, for example, that's if you meet somebody on the street and they grab you in a dark alley, that's much different than a person that was in a consensual relationship for a long time with a person. And then how do you then say that they did do something when you were in a consensual relationship with them? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, in some cases, it's obvious down there. If it was a legit breath, you get what I'm saying? When they do that kid and they taking you go to the hospital, you may have, most likely for the most part,
like bruising,
trauma down there, bruising, trauma, things like that, bruising on your body if you fight. So I'm just saying, it's going to be a process, but I think prosecution.
Nikki, your audio.
But how did they know she wasn't?
This is the part.
How did they know?
Wait, hold on, Danielle. Hold on. Y'all, I think your audio's in delay. Go ahead, Anonymous.
Yeah. So the thing that I don't understand is if the relationship started off under the pretense of it being consensual, at what point does it go from we're doing something consensual to now I'm being violated? Like, what's the threshold there?
You know what the threshold is?
No.
What's the threshold?
$100 million.
Facts.
Okay.
You're not hearing me. You're not. Hold on.
Right,
Shannon Sharpe, just 2 days ago, it came out that he was about to get $100 million contract for all of his platforms, including Club Shay Shay. Because his deal is expiring currently with Colin Cowherd. Okay, so he's on deck for a big payday for all of his platforms, which include Nightcaps, Club Shay Shay, so on and so forth. So he is in line for a big pay. And now all of a sudden, this comes out. So when I say $100 million, it's alleged that that's around how much his new deal is going to be, is about $100 million.
Okay. So then if that's the case, then that begs a different question. Is she in it for the money, or is she in it to legitimately get justice?
Come on, dog. Listen, this isn't a criminal. This isn't a criminal complaint. It's a civil suit. And that's why, honestly, by default, I just don't believe. I can't believe any woman. I think that the fact that we allowed for this to go on for so long and for so many men to get Me Too'd and all of this stuff just based off of accusations, they've lost their jobs, they've lost their income, they lost their reputation, they've lost the thing that they worked so hard for. It's hard because a lot of the same women that is saying that, this don't make sense, was saying, yo, me too. Like pushing the whole narrative, and they pushed the believe all women, pushed all of this stuff. So, that hard overcorrection a lot of times, and using and leveraging, the fact that you can say something, because I'll give you an example. Like, a lot of these cases are not actually something that people are trying to go to court for, right? They're trying to get a quick settlement, a quick payout. Hey, listen, okay, look, you don't really want to go through this. Now you got to, you know what I'm saying, send some money, get your deal, we make this go away, and we just keep it moving. A lot of times, a lot of guys get accused. You never hear about it because they come to the conclusion it's just cheaper on my reputation. It's cheaper as far as not having to have all these court costs and lawyer fees and all this stuff. And so a lot of guys have gotten extorted, especially if you have some level of significance. And this also proves that it's not safe for guys that's single. Like, guys that's not in a situationship, or guys that, a lot of times we've always thought that child support, or, guys that get married and then, they wind up getting divorced and losing half their shit. Nobody is safe. If anything, all of this has taught y'all is that nobody is safe. No guy is safe from the possible accusation of anything or anybody. And you got to be careful who you even keep in your circle. A chick that look good, a chick that may be cute, a chick that may be young. None of that shit play. Everything is at play now. So you just got to be very, very careful. And I feel for him because he worked his ass off every single.
But it's his own fault, though. I blame Shannon Sharpe for this.
Okay.
This is not his first rodeo. Come on now, somebody of his caliber. I'm sure he's dealt with millions and thousands of women. So in this particular case, I blame Shannon Sharpe for where he at, because my thing is, my brother, why are you dealing with these kind of women? I understand you might want to get your rocks off, but I mean, you got to know what comes with that. And on the flip side of that, I think there's three sides to a story: your side, their side, and the truth. Now, am I saying Shorty is lying about everything? I don't think so, because I do think Unc is kind of strict. If you look at his other podcasts, you can't even poop in front of Shannon Sharpe. You get what I'm saying? So
what does that have to do with whether he raped a woman or not?
Well, I'm just talking about the other things about him being controlling. I'm not talking about the whole rape situation, but she did make other allegations outside of the whole rape situation. But in this particular
wait. You blame Shannon Sharpe?
Yes.
For fucking with women, and he a single person?
Yes. No, I blame him for dealing with women who he know could potentially want him for what he has. Come on now, Shannon.
You don't know that.
Okay, so let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What woman won't deal with Shannon Sharpe based off of what he has?
Precisely. So my thing is, Shannon, you
got to know. He should never ever deal with a woman.
But if you're dealing with a woman who's 30 years younger than you, probably looks a certain way, probably like the typical IG baddie, you gotta know what comes with that. I'm sure he wanted her for one purpose only, and it's to have fun with her. I'm sure he was not trying to make that woman his wife.
Wait. When did it become a crime to engage in a consensual relationship?
All I'm saying is you got to know what comes with it.
And what comes? Wait. What comes with it?
with a man of his caliber comes a lot of different women who may want to use him or make accusations against him based off of what he has.
So you blame him for being successful?
No, I blame him for dealing with women who are not of substance.
He's not acting his age. You know, you shouldn't.
So then by your logic,
stop. Hold on. Have y'all lost your mind?
No, I get where Jason's coming from.
Thank you. Like, come on, Shannon.
Trying to say that
woman, bro.
Unc is too old to be dabbling in dangerous waters because it's
wait.
Thank
so
you.
if that's
yes, okay. That nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it.
I think
believe that.
Oh my God.
So if y'all really believe that, then by that logic, the high value men that you guys want shouldn't deal with you then.
Okay, well,
first of all, you compare apples to oranges, and we're talking about Shannon Sharpe. A man, he's a whole different caliber of man.
No, it doesn't matter though. A lot of y'all standards revolve around men who have fame, status, and resources, correct? And have power and influence, right?
Who's?
A good majority of y'all standards revolve around those
Are you
metrics.
a woman?
No,
you know we don't.
A lot of y'all. I don't know.
Hold on. Are y'all honestly listening to yourself?
I think I hear that.
I don't agree.
You're blaming a guy for getting accused.
No, I don't think.
Wait, don't listen. Hold on, wait.
I disagree.
Nobody deserves to be falsely accused. I don't care.
Not at all.
I don't care who you're dealing with. It's just like no. If you get, not you, I don't want to use anybody on the platform. If a woman walks down the street,
you twisted it, Anton.
You didn't hear what I was about to say yet. How did I twist?
He's not.
Because you're confused on what she was trying to say.
Thank you, David.
You get ready to ask how, and I'm going to explain the how before you have to ask how. So just give me like 20 seconds.
You know what I'm about to say. Go ahead.
No, I don't think he was about to say.
I'm trying to mitigate the confusion. She's referencing, brother, if you acted your age, you wouldn't be in these type of issues. Shannon is successful. He's, I guess, a little bit intelligent. You should be married. You know what I mean?
With women who don't have nothing.
Wait a minute. I'm not saying that the young lady is, she has a right to make a false allegation just because of his status. What I'm saying is that his chances, the likelihood of such an older, successful brother, this would not be likely to happen to him in his age bracket, in his like, his background, if he behaved like a man.
You know what's so interesting about that though, Dalen? You know what's so interesting about that? And I can't even believe that I even have to explain this to you guys, because we all old enough to be able to put two and two together.
Yeah, this is crazy.
The same lawyer sued Jay-Z for a woman that made an accusation and he had never seen her before in life. So any guy can get accused of doing something just because he's successful.
Well, we're not negating that.
He's supposed to know what goes with that, though.
That's not the point I'm making.
Yeah, I know. Like, they're
completely twisting it up.
If the results are the same in a lawsuit and a shakedown, then what difference do it make the circumstances that then cause it, whether he was involved with a woman or he never got involved with the woman? The fact that he becomes a target. See, this is the problem, is that we not having sympathy or empathy for the actual real victim.
Right.
See, this is the thing that women y'all coined the term victim shaming, and you're doing it. You're victim shaming somebody who is a target. And you're trying to, okay. Listen. If I see a woman and somebody snatch her black ass up because she was wearing something that somebody deemed inappropriate, does she deserve to get raped?
No.
Does a woman deserve to get raped because she's wearing promiscuous clothing?
No, but by wearing promiscuous clothing, you have to know what comes with that.
Does a woman deserve to get raped because she's wearing promiscuous clothing?
No, but I feel like two things can be true.
Why shouldn't I hold her accountable for wearing enticing clothing?
If she's going to wear that, you have to know what comes with that.
Because that's what
y'all never say that though.
No,
But
Y'all never
We
want to
said
win.
yes, we do.
stop. So grape comes with it?
It could potentially, yes,
So
it
the
could be a
possibility
byproduct
of
if you wear
asking
skin
for
tone,
unwarranted
yes.
reactions. That's what they'll tell us. You need to dress appropriately, or you're gonna attract the wrong attention, and that
It
can.
doesn't.
Yeah,
Listen,
but you know
it
what
doesn't
happens
matter.
though?
But just like he's trying to get us to say, oh well, you deserved it. But we're not saying that Shannon
We're not saying he
deserved
deserved
it.
it.
Y'all are missing the point. Y'all are missing
We're
the
saying he
point.
didn't have good discernment.
Hold on. The first thing that Jess said is that I blame Shannon for this.
Because he didn't have good discernment for dealing
I
with that
wouldn't use
woman.
those choice of words, but I was giving background because I got
It
what she
doesn't matter. You echoing the same sentiment and you jumping on the bandwagon.
No, it's
She
not,
says
Women, no. What
blaming
it
him
is
for being accused. She's not blaming him for being accused. She's blaming him for being an older man who's running around. But then you take it back to what any man could
why
be.
can't an older man who's successful get some buns that's early 20s?
We didn't say that he
That don't make
couldn't.